Hey everybody, and welcome to my in5 series where I cover a topic in about 5 minutes. Monsterism writes in and asks, can we record MIDI from the M8 into the SP404 mk2? And the answer is yes. Let's start with a few settings of like how I have things like physically set up. So I've got the MIDI output going from TRS out to TRS in on the SP404 mk2. They're both MIDI A devices, so this will work no problem. I also have the USB out going into the laptop, and that's just how we're getting this little display view, just so that'll make it easier for you to see kind of what I'm doing on the screen to try and follow along. Now, let's talk about the SP404 mk2 settings I've got. So we're going to go Shift Pad 13 to get into Utility System and go into the MIDI. We're going to go MIDI sync. We want it from MIDI. I'm just doing this to hard code it or force it to be MIDI instead of maybe picking it up over some other device or internal or whatever. This just will force it to take MIDI coming from the TRS jack here. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to use MIDI mode A. It's just a pretty easy setup. You can do B if you want to conserve your MIDI channels and do some other fun things with the M8, but it's kind of six of one, half a dozen of the other. Doesn't really matter too much. Now, on the M8, I'm going to hold Shift and go up, and we're going to go over to MIDI settings. Hit Edit, and first thing we want is sync out. Turn this to clock and transport. This will make sure we get the BPM out from the M8 to the SP404 mk2, and when we hit play, transport will make sure that we're playing and we're starting and stopping things in time with the M8. So that is those settings, and let's go change the tempo, put it down to 90. I'm gonna hold Shift, go down arrow. We're in the song view. We got to create a empty chain. So I'm just going to tap Edit, Shift right. From the chain, we need to create an empty phrase. I'm going to tap Edit and create this phrase 00. Shift right. We're going to come in. This is where we actually are going to enter our notes. We'll come back to this in a second. Shift right. And now we're going to create an instrument. And I want a MIDI instrument. So we're just holding Edit and going right. We want MIDI out. And I'm going to leave it as MIDI and USB. It's okay that it's sending MIDI data over USB-C. The computer is not set up to do anything with that, so we're good for now. And you can see MIDI channel 0 or 01. So basically MIDI channel 1 is going to address bank A. So now we can go Shift left to get back to the phrase. When I hit enter, it's going to drop in a note C4, and it also sends it over. So we're previewing it, and anytime I hit edit, it's just going to keep replaying it. So that's kick. Then we're going to see C#4 is this finger snap. Go back. I'm just hitting edit and going left and right to change notes. Kick again and finger snap. And I can hit play. And we're just going to get like the boots cats kind of sound. Let's say we want to add some hi-hats in here. We'll go all the way to boots and cats. I got this like hat here. So just add it over to D4. So yeah, you could program this in on TREC, no problem. But I want to show you something that would make this a little bit more fun for why you might actually want to use the M8 to program things versus just using TREC or playing this by hand, because we could all make this pattern super easy. I'm going to go up. I'm holding edit and just hit up to get into this menu. I want to go to retrigger. Retrigger 00 is not going to do anything. But the fancy sauce here is going to be, I do edit, I'm going to go up and switch over to randomize left, RNL. And now if I do 2 here, it's going to randomize, it's basically going to set over a rhythm for it to kind of play. And now we're getting this random ratchet that is going to keep happening. This we might actually want to have on the SP404 mk2. So, how are we going to do this? A couple things I would suggest. One is we could hit record and come in, and you're going to get various degrees of how well this works, but you might want strength 0, and you're going to record exactly whatever it's playing, or you might want to adjust the strength a bit. This can be a little bit tricky for a couple reasons. One is getting it to line up perfectly at the start can be a little bit tough, but we're going to give it give it an old-fashioned try. but we're just going to do 2 bars. Like I don't need to do a ton of this, and you'll kind of see whether this works for you or what you want. I'm going to go strength 0 for right now. I'm going to hit record, and when I'm ready, I'm just going to hit play. And I'm going to hope that I do this okay. Because basically when I get to the 1-1 again, I need to stop it. And you kind of heard like you might have heard that kick. It can double trigger. So this may not be a perfect loop in here, and it can be a little bit tough to get it over here, but you can hear it like, I mean, it's looping correctly. It just might not be starting at the right point. So, whoops, didn't mean to stop it. If we go shift record though, we can come in and let's go back to the kick. The kick should be on 1-1. We'll find out in a second where the kick lands. Yeah, you can see these are like, they're probably like super shifted over. So pattern edit pad 1. That is on step 00. This one's on step 99. It's not perfect. I mean, again, like it sounds fine to me, but not quite right. Let's exit out. We can do this again and give it a try. So we're going to go record pad 10. Let's just go to here and we'll hit record in real-time record mode. I'm just going to hit a pad just so that we make sure we record something. Hit record again. Didn't need to go to rehearsal. So we've now got basically an empty pattern here that will start when we want it to, and it should stay in time. And again, you're going to see like this isn't quite perfect. So you got to try and figure out which way it works for you. But if I hit enter in pad 10, we've now queued this up. So this will definitely start as soon as we hit play here. So this is playing. We're not recording though. So let's say we want to record. I just tapped record. We're in. It's definitely recording the notes. We can see it going again. I hit just record to end it. And I'm going to actually hit transport control here to stop it. But you can hear it missed that first kick. I didn't quite get that captured because I didn't record that note in correctly or whatever. So this can get a little bit annoying, but if we do shift record, we can add in that kick again. Go back to bank B and we'll put it here. And again, you can see like it's a little bit off. So it can be like, it can sound fine because of like where it is, but it's not, you might have to go through and decide if you want to quantize things or not afterwards. Anyway, I'm not going to get into quantizing. We've talked about that before, but I just at least wanted to show you, like, you definitely can record these things over and, you know, kind of decide for yourself which method you might want to try. It can certainly help you get like all kinds of different sounds for just like in patterns very quickly by doing like working on 1 bar on the, or I mean, you can work on more bars if you wanted on the M8, but you can really kind of randomize things and, you know, throw in pitch bends and other stuff that the SP404 mk2 can then decide what it's going to go do with it. Anyway, guys, I'm just going to say thanks for all you keep asking questions. I'm trying to do my best to answer them. And I would say Monsterism, thanks. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it helped you out. Everybody, thanks for stopping by. Keep making music. Keep having fun. Remember, if it sounds good, it is good. And peace.